What is up, everybody? JT Dangerously here once again. I am back for my Week 5 NFL predictions. Now, Week 4 just ended with the Kansas City Chiefs defeating the Washington Redskins tonight on Monday Night Football to remain undefeated. So our overall record finishing up Week 4 is an impressive 9-7. So we definitely bounced back after our 8-8 week last week, and now we have a winning record. So we're on a one-week winning streak. So hopefully in this video I will make it 2 straight weeks. Now, before I begin, I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching last week's NFL predictions. You guys blew it up, as always, on this channel. Over 1,100 views on that video. You guys super kicked that like button 15 times and over 50 comments. So again, thank you guys so very much for watching last week's NFL predictions for Week 4. Again, could not be any happier, and it's all thanks to you guys that this is continuing the support. Now, if you have not checked out my other 4 videos that I put up this evening, again, this is the 5th video, definitely go check them out. Of course, my Major League Baseball wildcard predictions, my New Japan King of Pro Wrestling predictions, my Week 6 NFL, college football predictions, and my Hell in a Cell predictions. So definitely go check out all 5 videos. Now, we are at over 200 plus subscribers on the channel, so I do want to thank you guys so very much for all the support on the channel. Again, to new subscribers, thank you guys for super kicking that subscribe button, and welcome to the Dangerous Alliance. And to my longtime subscribers, thank you guys for sticking around and always killing it. Now, if this is your first time watching my channel as a first time viewer, and this is your first video, welcome to the Dangerous Alliance. I am JT Dangerously, and welcome to the club, because this club is just to whoop whoop. Again, thank you guys so very much. Now, other than that, let's get right into these Week 5 predictions. Now, we got buys this week, so if you have players on these, if you have players on fantasy that are on a bye, definitely switch them out beforehand. So the teams that are on bye this week are the Atlanta Falcons, the Denver Broncos, the New Orleans Saints, and the Washington Redskins. So remember, if you have players on any 4 of those teams, switch them out before your next fantasy matchup. Now let's start off on the first match. It is on Thursday Night Football. It is, of course, one of my favorite team, the New England Patriots, heading to Tampa to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the New England Patriots are coming off a heartbreaker at home on Sunday against Carolina, losing by 3. Again, offense was great, but once again, that defense is just killing us right now. I compare the New England Patriots to the Big 12 Conference. Now, a lot of offense, but defense is just giving up like 500 yards a game. So that's the only downside to the New England Patriots right now, because they give up so much on defense, but their offense gives them a lot of points, but their defense gives up a lot of points. Tom Brady had a pretty solid game. Gronkowski had a good game. The running game actually showed up this week. So again, that was a tough loss, but hopefully we will bounce back. And then on the other side, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming off a big win over the New York Giants on Sunday, finishing it up with a field goal from Nick Folk, and thank God he made that last field goal, because if he missed that field goal, Nick Folk would have made my list of dangerously. But they looked good. Jameis Winston was on fire in that game. Mike Evans had a great game. Everybody in the whole Tampa team looks to be good, but the one good news I heard that looks like Dougie Martin will be back for this game, because I think his suspension was finally over. So now Tampa Bay has the running game. Now, of course, their defense was very shorthanded without Levante David, so that's another guy to keep an eye on for the Tampa Bay defense. So coming from me in this first matchup on Thursday Night Football, man, this one's tough, because I know there's a lot of commenters on my channel that are Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans, and I'm on high hopes for the Bucs this season. So coming from me, I'm gonna take my New England Patriots to win. I just think they'll bounce back after that loss. I mean, usually after a loss, they usually bounce back with the terrific Tom. So coming from me in this first matchup on Thursday Night Football, I'm taking my New England Patriots to defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And now the Sunday matchups. No, there's no 6:30, 9:30 starts this week. We're back to the 10 a.m. starts on the West Coast and 1 p.m. starts on the East Coast. We're going to start off with the New York Jets heading to Cleveland to face the Cleveland Browns. Now, the New York Jets are coming off a big win against the Jacksonville Jaguars in overtime, so the Jets are riding high. They're the only New York team that actually has a winning record. We're looking at you, Giants. But the Jets look actually good. I mean, their running game was good. I can never say this guy's name is Powell. Their running back had a great game. The other running back had a monster game on the ground. So the Jets look to be actually doing pretty well lately. I mean, they're doing better than the Giants. So that's saying a lot. And then on the other side, the Cleveland Browns, who got spanked by the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, they're coming in winless. They're looking to win their first game. They did not look good. Again, just trust the system. Again, DeShone Kizer did not have a great game. It's going to be like that all season. And Myles Garrett did not play in this game, their number 1 draft pick. Hopefully he may play in this game, but again, this Cleveland team is not looking to win anything other than another draft pick. And really, the only Cleveland team that's actually going to be doing anything is maybe the Cleveland Indians in the playoffs and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA. So, coming from me in this next matchup, as much as I hate the Jets, I'm going to take the New York Jets to defeat the Cleveland Browns. And now the next matchup, it is the Carolina Panthers heading to Ford Field to face the Detroit Lions. Now the Carolina Panthers are coming off a big win on the road against my New England Patriots on Sunday. They got it done. Superman was in effect with Cam Newton. Kelvin Benjamin had a pretty solid game, over 100 yards. David Funchess had a good game. Christian McCaffrey, another great game for him. So they definitely got a big-time win in a very hostile territory in Foxborough. Then on the other side, you have the Detroit Lions, who got a very close win over the Minnesota Vikings, only winning by a touchdown, but they got it done. Defense got it done for Matthew Stafford. Got a pretty solid game. Not his best game, but it was a solid game nonetheless. So coming from me in this battle, man, this one's really tough. Carolina's looking better now, and Detroit is looking to be the team to look out in the North. So coming from me in this matchup, I'm going to take the Detroit Lions to defeat the Carolina Panthers. And now the next matchup, it is the San Francisco 49ers heading to Lucas Oil Stadium to face the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the San Francisco 49ers lost a heartbreaker once again to the Arizona Cardinals in overtime. They are winless. They are not, again, what can I say about the 49ers? Brian Hoyer is not a starting quarterback. They need to get an elite quarterback. Look what Deshaun Watson's doing in Houston. The Niners need that. Carlos Hyde had a not so solid game. I mean, Pierre Garçon had a good game. It was mostly their field goal kicking and their punting. That was mostly the Niners game against Arizona on Sunday. Then on the other side, the Indianapolis Colts are coming off a loss on Sunday Night Football against the Seattle Seahawks. Again, Jacoby Brissett had a pretty okay game, not his best game, and it does look like Andrew Luck will be practicing this week. So we could be seeing Andrew Luck in this game, or they can just stick with Jacoby Brissett and see what he can do all season. So coming from me in this matchup, again, Niners just cannot catch a break. This may be the only game they could win if Jacoby Brissett is playing. If Andrew Luck is playing, no chance for the Niners. So coming from me, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts to defeat the San Francisco 49ers. And now the next matchup. It is the Tennessee Titans heading to Miami to face the Miami Dolphins. Now, both of these teams are coming off losses. Losses on Sunday. Tennessee got spanked over a 50 burger by the Houston Texans. They just got manhandled, and they also lost Marcus Mariota with a hamstring injury. So they had to go with Matt Castle. So again, we don't know if Marcus Mariota is going to be playing, but if he does not play, Matt Castle is going to be holding the rock. So that kind of depletes the Tennessee offense for sure. Then on the other side of the Miami Dolphins, who got shut out in London against the New Orleans Saints, Jay Cutler. I got to say this, Miami Dolphins fans, why the hell did you guys sign this guy? They have laid an egg twice. They lost to the Jets, and now they got shut out by the Saints in London. Like, I don't know why you guys even got Jay Cutler. He's a joke. And again, I've been giving the Dolphins praise for what they have the players, but the quarterback is just sticking with Jay Cutler is just not making me feel good in picking them. I was so happy to pick them last season. This season with Jay Cutler is just like a sick feeling in my stomach. So coming from me in this matchup, and this could be a good matchup again, if Mariota plays, this game is going to be donezo. But if he does not play, it's anybody's ball game. So coming from me in this matchup, okay, I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is the third time. If they cannot win this game, do not expect me to be picking the Dolphins the next week. But I'm picking the Dolphins one more time for the third time, because if they cannot win, 3 strikes and you're out. So coming from me in this matchup, I am taking the Miami Dolphins to defeat the Tennessee Titans. So you better get it done, Dolphins. And now the next matchup, it is the Buffalo Bills heading to Cincinnati to face the Cincinnati Bengals. Now the Buffalo Bills are coming off a big win over the then undefeated Atlanta Falcons on the road. They got it done. Tyrod Taylor had a great game. Their defense got it done as always, and they're looking to continue their success in the AFC East. And then on the other side, you have the Cincinnati Bengals are coming off a shellacking of the Cleveland Browns. Andy Dalton had a great game, I think 3 or 4 touchdowns. A.J. Green had a great game. So this was a good way to get back on track. This was a good way to get their first win. So coming from me in this matchup, I think Cincinnati, this is going to be a good defensive battle because Cincinnati's defense is pretty solid and Buffalo's has been pretty stout lately. So coming from me in this matchup, this one's tough. I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals to defeat the Buffalo Bills. And now the next matchup. It is the Los Angeles Chargers heading to Gotham to face the New York Giants. Now, both of these teams are coming off losses, so one of these teams is looking to win their first game. Now, the Chargers are coming off a heartbreaker to the Philadelphia Eagles at the last minute. Once again, the Chargers are just not the team LA wants. I just think they're the redheaded stepchild of LA. Most of the people in LA care about USC, UCLA, and the Los Angeles Rams. That's the only thing. The Chargers are way, way in the back, like the last kid getting picked in dodgeball. That's what the Chargers are. I mean, Phillip Rivers is a great quarterback, but I still say that the Chargers should have never left San Diego because they're just being treated like the redheaded stepchild or the last kid picked in dodgeball in Los Angeles. Then on the other side of the New York Giants, who once again lost by a last-second field goal to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday, and they're just looking for anything right now. Eli Manning had a pretty good game up until that loss. Odell Beckham Jr. had a pretty good game on receiving. Running game still there. Defense still there. Offensive line is more suspect than the Seattle Seahawks offensive line. So, man, this one's tough. So coming from me in this matchup to see who will win their first game of the season. Again, I don't like the Giants. Again, being a Patriots fan, and Eli has been our bane for 2 Super Bowls. You know what? I can't see them continuing to go. I just cannot see the Giants going 0-5. If they go 0-5, it would be a big surprise. So coming from me in this matchup, I'm taking the New York Giants to defeat the Los Angeles Chargers. And now the next matchup. It is the Jacksonville Jaguars heading to Heinz Field to face the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now the Jacksonville Jaguars are coming off an embarrassing loss to the New York Jets in overtime where all that hype now is looking to be just fool's gold because Blake Bortles had a pretty good game but did not win. Leonard Fournette had another great game on the ground, which I'm very happy to see because I liked Leonard Fournette from LSU. Defense did some stuff, but still, they lost to the Jets. Like, how do you do that? And now this is their biggest test. Now they got to go against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who, of course, got it done against Baltimore. The 3 Bs are back. Le'Veon Bell had a great game on the ground. Their offense clicked. Their defense had, I think, 3 or 4 sacks and a fumble and a few picks. So their defense was top notch. Now, a lot of people said Jacksonville beating Baltimore was a big win. Now, Jacksonville can beat Pittsburgh, who has they have all offense, defense, special teams. Then I'll say the Jacksonville Jaguars are a legit team because this is the only tough game they have this season. The rest of their schedule is as weak sauce. So coming from me in this matchup, this is a put up or shut up for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They win, they're legit. They lose, they'll just be another ham and eggs. So coming from me in this matchup, come on, Le'Veon Bell's back in the running game. It's gonna be Le'Veon Bell versus Leonard Fournette. It's gonna be Blake Bortles versus Big Ben and Antonio Brown against some of those great players on the Jacksonville's offense. So coming from me in this matchup, again, I'm done with the Jacksonville Jaguars after losing to the Jets. So coming from me in this matchup, I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers to defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars. And now the next matchup, it is the Arizona Cardinals heading to Philly to face the Philadelphia Eagles. Now the Arizona Cardinals are coming off a come-from-behind win in overtime thanks to Carson Palmer's pass to Larry Fitzgerald in overtime to beat the San Francisco 49ers. So they look good. Again, their running game has gotten a little bit better with Andre Ellington. Without David Johnson there, they have been getting better, but that game against the Niners, again, was mostly field goals and punts, and it was just that one touchdown from Palmer to Larry Fitzgerald that won the game for them. So they really want to prove something to be in the NFC West. They definitely got to win this game. And then on the other side, the Philadelphia Eagles are coming off a big win against the Los Angeles Chargers. They're 3-1 in the division. They are looking good. Carson Wentz had a great game. Alshon Jeffrey had a great game. LeGarrette Blount had a great game on the ground. So the Eagles are looking good, and of course they're being in first place in the NFC East. You got teams like Washington and Dallas and the Giants, but the Giants are kind of out of it now. So coming from me in this matchup, this one's a good one because their defense is good with Patrick Peterson and the honey badger Tyrann Mathieu versus you got Alshon Jeffrey, you got Zach Ertz, you got LeGarrette Blount, you got Carson Wentz. This one's going to be a good one. So coming from me in this matchup, I am taking the Philadelphia Eagles to defeat the Arizona Cardinals. And now the next matchup, an NFC West battle between, of course, my second favorite team, the Seattle Seahawks, heading to the Coliseum to face the Los Angeles Rams. Now the Seattle Seahawks are coming off a big win on Sunday Night Football against the Indianapolis Colts. Offense finally showed up again. Offensive line still suspect, and this is like the second or fourth or fifth week I've been talking about the Seattle offensive line, that they've just not protected Russell Wilson enough. Their defense got it done. The Legion of Boom was in full effect in Seattle against the Colts on Sunday night. They looked good, and Wilson just had a fantastic game. And then on the other side of the Los Angeles Rams, who pulled out a pretty big upset against the Dallas Cowboys at the Jerry Dome. You cannot say that this Los Angeles Rams team is the real deal. I mean, Jared Goff is having a hell of a year in his second year. Cooper Kupp is having a great year. Todd Gurley had a monster game against Dallas on Sunday. He is going to be, and with these two teams, it's always a tough battle. Seattle's always had problems with the Los Angeles Rams in the past, so this one's going to be a classic for sure. So coming from me in this matchup, again, this Rams team I'm so happy this LA Rams team is doing so well this season with a new coach. Great players, great defense with Aaron McDonald coming back for that defense. But coming from me, that win against Indianapolis showed that Seattle can still win. So coming from me in this matchup, I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks to defeat the Los Angeles Rams. And now the next matchup is the Baltimore Ravens heading to the Black Hole to face the Oakland Raiders. Now the Baltimore Ravens are coming off a pretty embarrassing loss at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They did not look good again. Offense, again, did not look good. Defense just gave up too much to Le'Veon Bell. So Baltimore is definitely looking like the odd man out in the AFC North. Then on the other side of the Oakland Raiders are coming off a pretty brutal loss to the Denver Broncos. And when I say brutal, it looks like Derek Carr got hurt in that game. He injured his back, and now I've heard Jack Del Rio say it's back spasms. So we don't know if he's going to play. They did put E.J. Manuel in, the former Florida State Seminole, to be their backup. Again, E.J. Manuel is a good quarterback, but he's always going to be a backup quarterback. He's not a starting quarterback. I think we saw how that started in Buffalo. So coming from me in this matchup, again, battles of good defenses. I mean, and I gotta say right now, Amari Cooper better start catching balls, because this has been the year of the drops for him, because he's not even getting recognized right now. So coming from me in this matchup, I'm gonna take the Oakland Raiders to defeat the Baltimore Ravens. And now the next matchup. This is definitely going to be the top match of Week 5. It is the Green Bay Packers heading to the Jerry Dome to face the Dallas Cowboys. Now the Green Bay Packers are coming off a huge win on Monday Night Football over the Chicago Bears. Of course, Devontae Adams may not be playing after that brutal hit from that Chicago Bear that got that Chicago Bear suspended for 2 games, but losing him definitely hurts. Ty Montgomery looks like he had some bruised ribs. I was heard it was broken, but they said it was bruised ribs. So the running game is now a little bit suspect, but when you have Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, you got that kind of talent around Green Bay. You got a really good team. And then on the other side, the Dallas Cowboys are coming off a very embarrassing loss to the Los Angeles Rams. Zeke the Freak had a pretty okay game. Dak Prescott was getting overwhelmed by that Los Angeles Rams defense, because, man, that Rams defense is not too bad. So coming from me in one of these top games in Week 5, Man, this one's really tough because Dallas is really good and Green Bay is really good. Coming from me, I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers to defeat the Dallas Cowboys. And now the Sunday night matchup, and it's a battle of two fantastic teams in the AFC, is the Kansas City Chiefs heading to Reliance Stadium to face the Houston Texans. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs are coming off a big win tonight on Monday Night Football over the Washington Redskins. By any doubt, they were not going to lose that game at home. Kareem Hunt had another monster game. Alex Smith had a great game. Travis Kelce had a great game. And the defense, as always, got it done. And then on the other side, the Houston Texans, who put the biggest ass kicking on the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. It was a near 60 burger by the Houston Texans, and like I've said, Deshaun Watson had his best game. He had 5 touchdowns, 1 rushing, but he has already now proven he is the starter for the Houston Texans, and I'm so proud to see him succeed in the NFL. I mean, you got players now with Will Fuller coming back after the broken collarbone. He's back. He had 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins had a great game. Even Lamar Miller had a rushing touchdown, which was saying a lot. So this offense is getting better. Defense with Jadeveon Clowney, merciless. This team in Houston is really, really something. And now with the Houston Astros also being in the playoffs in Major League Baseball, we can have some really interesting stuff with Houston, the Houston Texans, and the Houston Astros. So coming from me in this really good Sunday night football matchup, man, this one's really tough. This one's really tough. This can go either way. This is like a 50-49 pick right here. So coming from me in this matchup, I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs to win and remain undefeated. I just think with that offense, that fantastic defense, this is maybe the toughest defense Deshaun Watson has faced this season, with that Kansas City defense with Justin Houston's D Ford, just that array of monsters on the defensive side of Kansas City. So coming from me in this matchup on Sunday Night Football, I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs to defeat the Houston Texans. And now the Monday night matchup that goes against, of course, Monday Night Raw. It's an NFC North battle between the Minnesota Vikings heading to Soldier Field to face the Chicago Bears. Now the Minnesota Vikings are coming off a pretty much terrible game against the Detroit Lions, losing only by a touchdown. Case Keenum had a great game last week. This week, not so great. Did not look good, and they also lost a huge player in the running back position. Their draft pick from Florida State, Dalvin Cook, completely tore his ACL. So he is done for the season. So Minnesota's running game went from here to like that. Now they have almost near nothing at running game except for Latavius Murray, a former Oakland Raider. But losing Dalvin Cook for the year is huge. And this was his first year. I feel so bad for him that he completely tore his ACL. That is saying... That was, when you see it, it was bad. And I felt so bad for him because he's such a great running back. But losing him for the Vikings is huge. Then on the other side of the Chicago Bears are coming off just a blowout game, a blowout loss to the Green Bay Packers. They did not look good. And I have heard John Fox saying, we may be going to Trubisky, which I've been saying since week 1. I want to see Mitchell Trubisky play. We saw him in the preseason, and it's going to be Trubisky business because Mike Glennon did nothing in that game on Thursday against the Packers. He had 3 turnovers. It's time to put Mitchell Trubisky in. You guys got him in the first round with the 2nd overall pick. We're not going to wait until Chicago Bears fans are not going to wait a whole season to see this kid. If they saw him in preseason and he's actually good. So if I was John Fox, put the guy in. So coming from me in this matchup on Monday Night Football, again, we don't know if Sam Bradford's going to play in this game, so it could be once again Case Keenum. So coming from me in this matchup, I am taking the Minnesota Vikings to defeat the Chicago Bears. And those are my Week 5 NFL predictions. Now, I hope you guys did enjoy these NFL predictions this week. Comment below, who do you have winning all of these games this week? Of course, put your picks in the comment section below, and as always, represent your team in the comments below. Let's have a conversation about them. I'm always on to see your comment, like it, and of course reply right back to you. These comments are absolutely always welcome on this channel. Now I do want to thank you guys for watching this NFL predictions this evening. Now of course, before you go, you can never forget to do this. That like button, comment, share with your friends, of course, super kick that like button like only you guys can, and of course you can never forget to do this as well. that subscribe button, become part of this bigger and dangerous alliance. And I will see you guys Thursday for my American League and National League divisional predictions. Later days and peace.